Imagine that 5 years ago, you were scavenging money in order to purchase your first stock. You were doing your research and you finally found a stock that hit rock bottom and you purchased it. And you soon saw really good gains. The first year up 10%. Second year you're up 30%. And then over 7 years you're up over 150%. However, then all of a sudden in a span of a month, you lose all of those gains and you're back at the place you started. This is a true story that has happened to a lot of investors who purchased Delta Airlines 7 years ago. And its rapid decline in stock price has created a good buying opportunity for the stock. In this video, we're going to explain why Delta is potentially a really good long-term stock to invest in. But before we get into the video, make sure you subscribe and leave a like down below. It really helps out a lot. But in order to explain why it's a really good stock to invest in, we need to look at Warren Buffett's fundamentals of investing. According to Warren Buffett's fundamentals of investing, you should never ever buy a stock because you think that it's going to appreciate over time. You buy a stock like you would like any other business. Well, so when do you buy a business? You buy a business when you think that its net income is going to provide a good rate of return relative to the price you paid for the business. For example, if you buy a business for $100,000 and it makes $10,000 every year in net income, your rate of return on investment is 10% per year, which many investors would consider good. We can use this same exact method that Warren Buffett and many other investors use in real life to determine whether Delta Airlines, a business, is a good company to invest in right now. Currently, to buy Delta Airlines, the entire business, it would cost about $13.6 billion, which is their current market capitalization, or the value of the company. And after sales have fallen, Delta Airlines is still expected to make about $2.5 billion this year. That gives you a rate of return of 19% per year. This is an amazing return on investment. And it sounds too good to be true. And there's a reason for that. The $2.5 billion that is expected in profit is only a prediction. And predictions are just predictions. They are never what actually happens. Due to recent events, many people think that Delta Airlines will come nowhere near that expectation. Many investors are skeptical that Delta Airlines will be able to meet that expectation. In fact, many investors think that Delta Airlines will make $0 in profit this year, while others expect them to make $2.5 billion in profit. I'm not saying they're going to make $2.5 billion. That's just what they're expected to make after recent events have hit. But since there's so much uncertainty with the situation, it's a very real possibility that they won't hit that expectation and that they may even make $0 or even go negative. So, since there's so much negative sentiment with this stock, it has caused their stock price to plummet dramatically. So in the short term, although it is expected and it has the potential to have a really high rate of return, there's a lot of risk associated due to uncertainty, which makes it more of a risky investment in the short term, but it has a lot of upside potential. I always want to be safe with my investments, so I'm going to look at it on a long-term perspective. Things are likely to return to normal within 2 years. On average, economic downturns last for a little less than 2 months, and new medical developments are expected to come sooner within 2 years. So within 2 years, we're really likely to see earnings that are similar to what they were making last year and what they were on track to make this year before all the news hit. And last year they made a whopping $9 billion in net income, and they're likely to make this $9 billion again once things return to their normal state in about 2 years. You have the opportunity to purchase Delta Airlines for a valuation of $13.6 billion, and within 2 years time they're going to be making $7, $8, $9 billion per year easily as things return to normal. So in 2 years you're going to own a company that you purchased for a valuation of $13 billion, and it's going to return $9 billion per year, which is an excellent return on investment. Imagine buying a company right now and you pay $13.6 billion for, and then every year after 2 years it gives you $9 billion. Anyone would take that deal because you're going to get so much more money by investing in that business. This is what Delta Airlines is on a fundamental perspective, which makes it a really good company to invest in only for the long term. If you're doing it for the short term, it's going to be really risky. But for a long term investor, it's a good investment. And for any stock that's featured on this channel, I like to talk about their dividend if they pay one, just because it's so crucial to many investors. As I'm recording this video, Delta said that they are suspending their dividend entirely. Before they cut the dividend, they were paying about $1 billion each year in dividends, and right now they really need that $1 billion to pilot the storm and make sure they land safely on the other end. The $1 billion is going to help them avoid taking on more debt. It's also going to help them just make it through these hard times. What's even better is that after the markets open after this weekend, the stock price is likely going to drop, just go down, down, and down, just because it was a really popular stock for dividends, and a lot of dividend investors are going to hop out of it and just sell it because they no longer pay a dividend. This is really going to lower their valuation, making it a more attractive investment. You're getting the same amount of money each year, the same $9 billion in 2 years, but you're investing it at a cheaper price, which really just increases your rate of return. Let me know what you think of the video using this fundamental investing strategy. And let me know down in the comments what you think about Delta Airlines. And make sure to drop a like and subscribe, it really helps out.